I've been at DMI now for about 7 months. And for much longer, for much of my life, I've actually been really inspired by the vision and ideals of the founding of the John Major Institute. So it's really gratifying for me to be able to serve in this role and to help carry on some of the legacy of people of courage like Dr. Martin Luther King and Harry Wachtell. Although it might not be obvious to you at first glance, I'm actually a Southerner 2 times over. I'm a naturalized immigrant, a first-generation immigrant, but I was born in South Korea. And I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Memphis, Tennessee. And as some of you might know, Memphis is where Dr. King spent his last days, fighting for the rights of striking sanitation workers. And this legacy of him fighting for economic justice is usually overlooked. And it's usually overlooked because it highlights an inconvenient and uncomfortable truth about America. And that truth is more painfully clear today, which is that the gap between those who have much and those who have little is slowly poisoning our democracy and crippling our country's future. That's why I'm sure that he would be gratified and proud of the work that we're doing today, all of you in this room, to fight for progressive public policies in cities and for cities to close the gap, building bridges of opportunity, ladders of upward mobility for those who don't have enough. This year, DMI has fought to reform public transportation funding because access to adequate transit is fundamental to accessing opportunity. We've highlighted enlightened immigration reform that is morally right and makes economic sense. We've lifted up paid sick leave so that no one ever has to choose between caring for a sick child and losing their job. We've been on the front lines of making sure that publicly subsidized economic development doesn't subsidize poverty-level jobs. And we've come to the defense of the public sector and organized labor, because they're being scapegoated right now for the economic crisis, although they created institutions that created the middle class. And we are proud. And we are proud to work with advocates like Make the Road New York. And similarly, we are here so that earlier today, Governor Patterson signed into law the Wage Theft Prevention Act. And earlier this year, the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, which ensures that 200,000 domestic workers can finally emerge from the shadows, the first of all of its kind in the country.